moment, I had this vision, and all of a sudden, and it was a vision in the sense that it was in my divine imagination. I wasn't seeing it with my physical eyes, but it was very, very vivid. It was like I was vividly remembering a movie that I had seen, but I hadn't seen it before. And in this vision, I saw the guy, the guy who had kidnapped her, and he looked exactly like the kind of guy that would trick a 15-year-old girl into being brought into the world of human trafficking. And just to be honest, as soon as I saw him in my mind, I felt angry. I try to be a pretty forgiving, person, and I know I'm a Christian. I recognize that God has forgiveness and redemption for everyone. But again, for me at least, I look at that and think, gosh, you can't do much more low than to just manipulate someone who's so vulnerable and to take advantage of that so crassly, so callously, and I'm just feeling that. And then I hear the Lord ask me a question. He says, should I punish him? And part of me is like, yeah, probably. But then, again, I'm a Christian. I'm like, yeah. And so I gave the prophetic escape hatch. I don't know, Lord. I don't know.
The escape hatch.
And then in this vision, behind and slightly above him, I saw his parents. And I saw the kind of people that they were. And they looked like the kind of people that would raise someone who would kidnap a 15-year-old girl and bring her into the human trafficking world. And I felt the Lord draw his hand across the two of them and say, should I punish them? And I said, I don't know, Lord. And then I saw each of their parents, and then each of their parents, and each of their parents in turn, until it created, as you can imagine, this inverted pyramid of people, back, generation to generation. I could see and understand this generational sin, alcoholism, addiction, mistreatment, abuse that had been passed down generation to generation, stacking the deck against the next group, putting them so far behind, so far behind the line of goodness that how could any of them, hope to even improve this story, this cascading waterfall of sin falling down generation to generation. And I felt the Lord draw his hand over this whole image and say, then who should I punish? And the vision zoomed out just a little bit more, and at the bottom of this inverted pyramid, I saw Jesus hanging on the cross, and I saw all of this sin, generation to generation, passed down, that flowed down, that produced this young man and this part of his story. And I watched all of that land on Jesus on the cross. And then I felt something that I did not expect. That same sublime, profound goodness that I felt that day, that was more than enough for that girl's trauma and pain. I felt it pointed at this young man. I got to be honest, I didn't like it. I was like, no, get that away from him. Get that away from him. That does not belong to someone like him. Get that away from him. That is not right. No, that's dirty. That's wrong. Now, I know that's incorrect. I'm a Christian. I know how the gospel works. But still, I could not, with honesty, resolve this disconnection between what he had done and the effect that it had, and that God had truly died for him so that he could experience that same goodness. And I kind of held that to the Lord. I don't know how to be okay with this. Not that it's my responsibility to be okay with who you decide to point your goodness to, but I don't know how to be okay with this. After a pause, with firmness, but with absolute kindness, he said, that's too bad. Because that kind of goodness is the only kind that could have helped that girl in her moment of pain on that day.